Hello everyone, welcome to a trader's journey. Welcome to another Sunday watch list. So what we're gonna do today, you're gonna create a watch list together. On the right, these are my top six that I like to trade, and then I've got some potentials and additional pairs here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a watch list for the coming week. So we're gonna start with euro dollar. So with euro dollar, it's quite messy price action. Obviously, we had a bit of a run beginning of 2025, and then price sort of stalled here since July 2025, and we sort of been stuck in this range over here. This is the weekly chart, so price is not looking like it looked at the beginning of the year. Now we're sort of stuck in this range, and we're starting to see a bit of a change in direction. If you can look here, we had a bit of a change of direction. We have a break of structure, and then the price came back to this hook point. So this is momentum, and then we came back to touch the value area up here. So you see those order blocks here, had a run, break structure, and then we had a bit of we call these V shapes. And if a price makes a run, break structure, it comes back, retest the value area, and it starts another move. So we are currently in phase one of this move on the weekly chart, and so obviously we coming weeks you're looking at targets like this. If price will continue to be bearish, to be broken, and we can start seeing a bearish trend starting. That's the weekly chart. Going back to the weekly, I just want to show you quickly our range, right? Let me just quickly highlight it. This is the low of the range, and this is the high of the range. I'm just gonna take this wick. That's the high of the range. So we're currently trading in this is our internal structure, external structure. So we're trading internally at the moment until this high or this low, this high or this low is broken. So going back to the daily, I'm gonna leave those lines there. As you can see, it looks bigger. The corrective phase that we are stuck in, it looks bigger, but you're starting to see some bearish price action. Obviously, you get a run, and you get a correction over here, and then second run, correction. Hopefully, we get a third run coming up to break these lows. So we're just playing the daily structure, the daily range, right? If I just quickly draw this daily range, this daily high, and then this is a daily low over here. Let me just get rid of these. This is the daily low over here. So we're playing the range. We're looking to see what we can do at the bottom of the structure. This is our daily range. Obviously, we're looking for bearish behavior to come and break these structures and see if we can start having a bit of a momentum a shift bearishly. We're starting to see some characteristics of bearish behavior when price failing to break above these highs, and we're starting to break structure going down. See structure break here, structure break here. Hopefully we can plan to come at this bottom of the structure in the coming week. So if we measure the structure, you can clearly see we're trading below the 50%. We've had our pullback. Hopefully we can get a run into this structure. So we're currently trading near the 50% of this daily range. So what we're looking for here is some sort of obviously you see here we've got a hook point, we've got a V shape here coming back into this value area. Basically this is the 50% of the range, so you can still sell this into the low here, and then you can readjust from there. So that's our daily analysis. So he's still playing the daily structure, internal structure. It's showing us a lot nice bearish behavior, so we can possibly target this low in the coming week. So if I go to the 4-hour, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we've had our break of structure here. This is our volume area. We had a volume area. This is the 4-hour structure. And then we had our pullback, and we failed to break this low here, but we did create a bit of a hook point, obviously a run correction. Now we're looking for prices retesting this this level, and then now we can look for some bearish behavior to come in. First targets will be obviously the low of the structure. You're playing the structure at the moment, and you'll see how price keeps going towards these structure lows. This is a daily structure, so it's looking good. Obviously impulse correction. We're looking for our third push in the next coming week, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of the structure. But obviously at the moment we are playing the structure because of the way the market is behaving at the moment. We're just playing the structure, so we're playing this 4-hour structure at the moment. Obviously this is the high, this is where the volume came in, the volume that broke structure. This is the low of this 4-hour structure. So at the moment we're playing the structure. We're targeting somewhere in this region, and then we can readjust once we break the structure low. So that's the euro dollar. It's looking good. Obviously we've had this correction failing to break this high. Now I'm going to be looking for entry kind of criteria at this point, at this price point. So if you look closely on the 1 hour, you can see we had a push, fail here. This is a corrective structure. So now hopefully we can start seeing some bearish momentum targeting the low of the structure, and then we can readjust from there. So that's our euro dollar. I'm gonna mark this because it's looking great. It's positioned well, and we can get a nice big run into this low, which will give we're just targeting a 3-to-1, 2-to-1 until we can readjust when we get to this low. So that's euro dollar. Going to pound. Let's see if pound's positioned well. Obviously also playing the structure similar to euro dollar, corrective structure. I'm not gonna spend too much time because it's a mirror image of it. Corrective structure. Going back to the daily, you can clearly see we are playing the daily structure, the daily high, daily low, bit of a corrective structure. We're also in the 50% range of this structure, but it hasn't switched like euro has already started switching bearish, so that's why euro looks better at the moment. But obviously we are playing the structure. We still have a bit to go to clear this low. If I look further into the if I look closer, you can see similar push correction structure, 1 2 3 into the value area. The good thing about this one is we've actually interacted with this value area here, so that's a good thing about pound. If you look on the euro, we haven't really interacted with the value area, but we have a very strong resistance zone that's stopping price. So we have interacted with this value area, and we closed, but this has been a very bad, so it's a bad Friday. Price didn't go anywhere. Hopefully we can see a bit of a change in direction. So pound looks like I'll look at it, I'll keep an eye on it. Whichever one is shaping up better between the two, then I'll end up trading. So I'm also gonna mark this because it's also priced, it's positioned well, and it's also has a nicer range to target the structure low. So that's pound. Going into NZD, I'm gonna spend a bit of time on this one. because of the because it's been very it moves a lot quicker than pound and euro. So obviously high and low of the weekly internal structure, and the only difference with this is with pound and euro you can see the overall corrective structure. It's not as direct as this one, right? This one you can see as soon as we reach the highs of these areas we get a bit of a clearer push. So if I go on the daily, let's have a look on the daily. Also, daily structure is too big. If we play the structure, for instance, at the moment, because with the strength of the dollar, our bias is bearish, right? This is the daily structure, and you can see it's a lot closer to this low than the other two pairs, right? Even though we've had a push and a break of structure and we're sort of holding at this level, but the value area, the short-term value area is here, right? So we've had a run, we broke structure, we've had a correction into trying to get it to the value area. So if I go on the 4 hour to show you exactly what I mean, so that's the low, the resistance zone, but it's not really respecting it, right? So this one is a bit more dangerous because there's a lot more potential for it to sort of come to this value area and drop low, you know. So it's not really respecting this level, so I'm gonna move it at the moment. But it's not, for me, it's just not looking too well. Plus, if it were to move down, the potential is not that great as compared to pound, and because this one is already too close to the bottom of the structure, it's not gonna give you much. So I'm not gonna spend too much time. I'll watch out for it, but the only problem is it moves a lot in Asia markets, and I don't trade Asia much, so I'll have a look at it and decide from there. Dollar CAD, not gonna spend too much time here, it's just completely running away. Let me just move this here. It's completely running away. We broke this high. Now the actual structure is here. The weekly structure, we're already at the top of the structure. So if the dollar continues to be bullish, doesn't make sense to buy it here. You'll be buying into a resistance zone. So this is the value area for the structure. We've interacted with it. If you look here, this is the inflection point. A lot of sellers trapped above these highs. So we've interacted with this. So I'm not gonna look at this because I'm looking to go short on the cross dollar pairs, and on USD. The more the DXY gets stronger, this becomes untradeable at the moment. So we are at this value area. We just taking these highs. So it sort of clashes with because it's looking so bullish, and it's already at the top of the structure at a premium zone. I don't feel right buying this at these values. So I'm just not gonna look at this at the moment until we've reversed, and then we've reversed on these two as well. But since I'm looking to go bearish on these, I'm not gonna look at this because it's not at the price where I want to buy. So I'm not gonna put it in my watch list. NZD, Euro NZD, again, we get a lot of these V shapes, push and then a V shape back into the value area. You see a break of structure here and a bit of a break of structure here, but we came back sharply into this value area. So price is sort of stalled at this area. So this is directly, if the euro dollar is gonna push down, this becomes a bearish trade because obviously it's directly related to the euro. So it's sort of stalled at this value area, but also the price positioning is good. It's got a lot of some characteristics of pushing down. What I like about this pair is it has a lot of direct moves. You can see how direct this V shape is. Came back into this value area, we wicked this high and closed back in, so it's showing a lot of momentum to push down. So because the euro's been a weaker pair lately, so if the euro dollar is moving down, this is going to move down as well. So I'll look for a trade here. It's actually in the best, it's positioned well, and it's got a lot more room to go. So this is gonna be in my watch list. I'm looking for a bit of corrective behavior, maybe an extra push up here, and then we can see if we can run it down here. So we've got a lot of it's got some way to set up first. It's not just gonna drop. I think it's gonna interact with this very area here. But what I like is if we catch it at the right time, it's got a lot of direct moves. So this will go onto my watch list. I'm not gonna look at the Aussie dollar. I'm only looking to buy the Aussie dollar. It's been so strong lately, so I'm not gonna look at it, especially since the dollar has been so strong. The only time I'm gonna look at Aussie dollar is to buy. I'm just waiting for it to bounce it, to get it to create a low, and then I'll continue buying because it's such a strong pair. Pound cat, its potential also is running away at the moment. Not looking great. It's right at the highs. Only time I want to interact with this pair is to sell. It's trading at the highs. I'm not loving these highs, honestly. So this is not in my plans at the moment unless we start switching bearish. If I go on a daily and the weekly, you can see how high it's running. It's basically overpriced at this point. So the only time this is gonna go on my watch list is if we close back below this inflection point over here. So because we are at the top of these structures, this is the high, this is the low, right? You can need this. We are at the top of this daily structure. You can call it a weekly structure as well. So only reversal I'll look is if we close back below. So we are at the very area, so I'm just looking for a close back below. But it's a potential. I'll leave it here to see how it develops in the coming week. The yen pairs, not loving them at the moment, especially dollar JPY. I don't love it. Let's have a look at euro yen. This is not a trade. This was a potential trade, but the market's not giving us much to play with. Obviously, we've had a week of correction. This is Monday, and we've just been correcting into this value area. So I'd love to see a reversal. Obviously, if the euro dollar is going down, then this is going to reverse. The yen index is also showing a bit of strength in the last week, so I'm going to be monitoring this level. Hopefully we can get a reversal and I can potentially see a trade. We've been rejecting a lot at this area, so let's see if we can start to see some momentum from this value area. You can see we had a push, broke structure, and we had a correction into this very area. So we're waiting for some bearish behavior to kick in, and maybe hopefully we can start dropping because it's got a lot of potential. If we're just playing a structure, it's got a lot of potential to come clear the low of the structure if we're just playing a structure. So let's see if we can get a bit of a push outside this correction zone, and maybe a bit of a correction move, and then we can hit this in the second run. So I just wanted to break away from this correction price, and then I'll have a look at it on Monday and see how price prints overnight, and then we can take it from there. Pound dollar, pound yen, sorry, similar. Also looking to see how it prints overnight. This one is a lot higher on the structure. Very areas over here, it's a lot higher in the structure, so it's got a lot more room to the downside. So that's another play we can have a look at. And but yeah, let's see if we can get some reversals here starting, and then start to see price come over here. So I've marked them already. These are my potentials, and these are already looked at, so I'm not gonna engage with them, because I'm not going to engage with the NZD until it shows me a better price action. Gold, been running a lot last week. We had a pullback. If I just delete all of this and just show you, we can also play the structure on gold depending on how the dollar's moving. And I can see it's correcting over here, a small little value area here, but the big price, where the big move started here at the volume started. So maybe gold can give us a bit of a trade into this area, and then we can start shift down and play the structure as well. Gold is also my potential, is always my potential. So at the moment, let's have a look at it. If I just mark this wick here, which is where price is sort of rejected at the moment, it might just wick over here, clean up all this liquidity, and then start moving down. So gold is always on my watch list. So I've got quite a big watch list, but I'll refine it in the morning. But yeah, that's my analysis. Yeah, before I go, let's have a look at DXY. Let's see how it's shaping up. Same thing, looks like the euro dollar had a momentum. We started correcting. I pulled back below. I was marking this high for gold to potentially, for DXY to potentially interact with, and then we can see another run into the 100. Let's see if we finally break. If I go on the weekly, we've been struggling to break this low here for about a year. So every time we get down here, we get a push down. Every time we get at this price, we get a push down. Hopefully we can finally pierce through this veil, and then we can see gold returning to these prices, because this has been a sort of big resistance for quite some time. So let's see if we can finally pierce this veil of 103.62. If we can pierce it, we can start to see DXY interact with these, because there isn't any major resistance on the left hand side. If we break this low, this high, this resistance zone. So it's quite an interesting one to look at coming into next week. See if we can finally break that, and yeah, and then obviously it'll confirm my trades on euro dollar, pound dollar, and euro NZD if we start seeing some momentum to break this. So that's my analysis. Quite a lengthy video, but hopefully you guys take something away from it.